Hello, chat buns. That is way too loud. Let me just, hang on. There. That should be better. That should be better. Hello, you might recognize this one. I couldn't really decide on place to hang out, so you know what? Fuck it. We'll just hang out in the fucking lobby of organism. Maybe I will wander about to other areas, maybe. Who knows? Important thing is, I'm not sitting down, not even outside the virtual world, because my body is like, you sit down too much. But hello, it is me, Aya, the wonderful, amazing digital rabbit. Aya Sami. Ohaya, it says, Aya Standy, exactly. I'm kind of hoping I can kind of like do, because if I can't stand for a couple of hours, then what's the fucking point? Ohaya. Maybe I should just make the fucking Ohaya and Ayasumi part of the normal greeting and thing, because, like, fuck it. Hi, Yeti. Hi, Shogun. Ayasumi, yeah, I don't know, I can't remember who said it first, so I definitely didn't come up with it, but someone else did. Hi, Ayasumi! But, yeah. I don't know, maybe I do just go full weeb with the fucking anime, my name plus a Japanese word portmanteau. Oh, hi, was your invention that you've been definitely trying to make? I mean, I say it however long you like, I am aware that you say it, I know you like to say it, but like my part of my brain is just like, oh no, I can't just use random Japanese language. That's what every VTuber does. That's cultural appropriation or whatever, and I feel annoyingly guilty about it. Hi, Greffrey. I'm literally Ayasami, that is true. That is who I am. You said the Taco and Shogun, this is true. Like, it's not gonna feel bad, like, I'm a weeb, but my audience is fucking weebs, and Greffrey gets the reference. But yeah. We're gonna kill. Yeah, you're not gonna complain about weeb. No one in the actual chat is going to complain about weebism. I'm just going to be have a bunch of white guilt over it. That's the so I understand it's me being an anxiety-filled mess more than anything. But yes, it is a. Oh, I've just been feeling real kind of like ups and downs lately. But I think I've gotten, as I said, I always say I think I've gotten things under wraps, but then it's like all a bit iffy and all a bit meh. But yeah, here we are. We're all anxiety-ridden messes in this day and age, aren't we? You can tell I'm standing because I'm swaying a lot. I'm not someone who likes to stand still. That's what I kind of like was hoping to be a thing with this stream. Is just like you get to see that when I'm not sitting down, I'm actually a very active. I'm like doing little steps to the side and moving to the side. And I sure hope this isn't bothering the people downstairs. But yes. I need to get to that part in Void Stranger. But yes, it's been. There's hi, Manaxi. It's just been a lot of just stuff going on. Actually, no, wrong, incorrect. It's been a lot of nothing going on, and that's the problem. The problem is I've been sitting at home doing absolutely fuck all, and it's like, yeah, I like to say everything's okay, but I've been real depressed and it's real low energy, and I've just been like, and it's getting back to, like, I was able to kind of like cope a bit when the weather was nicer, but now the weather's getting darker, and so my SAD's kicking in, and now it's just like, oh god, the darkness is coming, chat buns. It's in my mind and it won't go away. But, as always, at least I know, like, what I ought to do, and this is part of it, this is the less sitting around being bored and doing nothing, it's doing stuff, it's sitting around, you can't see it, but I'm randomly balancing on one leg. It's a good, like, general stretch to balance on one leg. That'd be a good thing to get to see when I've got full body tracking. They said that won't be for a while. That will be, well, actually, it's sooner than you think. I guess the orders get shipped at the Slime VR order gets shipped at the end of September. So that'll be good. Oh God, it's already like. I've got the data. It's halfway through September already. Fuck's sake. Where is time going? You seen time? You imagine? I don't know why, but you imagine me tripping. Is that mean of me? Maybe a little, but I don't blame you. Well, I could do I'm not going to deliberately trip and fall over because I am wearing it's even though it is by headset VR standards. You know, enough of this time progression stuff. Can I just slow down for a bit? Can time just kind of like stop until we've all got our shit sorted? Alright, we'll get all the fucking layman crap stuff out of the way. Just give me a while in the hyperbolic time chamber so that I can like, yeah, we do the same thing. We need a hyperbolic time chamber. Oh, don't you fucking jinx me! You can't jinx me. You're just text. But yeah, I need some time in a hyperbolic time chamber where I can just be like, okay, put me in a hyperbolic time chamber with like a walking machine and a supply of fresh fruit and vegetables, and like a drawing and like a microphone so I can and the streaming setup. And like there, I'll help sort myself out. I did like in an attempt to be healthier. I was like, oh, I'll pick all the healthy options from a Tesco meal deal today. And so I don't know if the sushi really counts as healthy, but I did have a one of those fucking innocent super energy juice drinks that's just a bunch of various fruits and stuff, and I'm like, sure, that was nice. I did also get some. That said, it would be sweet for October to club a whole bunch of Classic Vania games. Ah, yeah. Just roll up to the Classic Vania challenge and just be like, how did you do all of these, Greffrey? Maybe I'll take part this year. I don't know. I've never been much of a Castlevania person, but so at least some of them are reasonably short enough to get like regular clears in. Well, most of the Classicvania ones, really. Some of them are really long, and some of them are really hard, but not all of them. But yeah, I'm just trying to get things sorted out. Trying to get things sorted. I managed to do at least clean up a bunch of stuff today, at the very least. Oh yeah, I was trying to eat healthy, and I found out either there are two possibilities that I found out from today's lunch experiments. Either I don't like edamame beans, or the edamame beans you can get at Tesco's as part of the meal deal are crap. And they're just like, I think the thing is, like, usually with edamame beans you have a lot of salt with them, and I think they skimped on the salt a fair bit. They really just taste like but it doesn't really taste. They don't really taste like the kind of like. I think they kind of need to be fresh edamame, because from what I've heard of people who have regularly enjoy edamame beans, is nice and crisp and crunchy, and these really weren't that. It's like crisp, crunchy, and you got a load of salt on them. And you go. But yeah, I'm always sad every time I get sushi from the Tesco's meal deal, because they used to have like simpler and better sushi, but now they've made all the sushi options are more complicated and they're worse, and it sucks. You can really see my neck bender. Yeah, it's. But yeah, I'm moving along. I've got busy weekend this weekend because I was like, oh, I have to just like lock in and do my 3-year celebration stream. So it's about a month late. Maybe I'll just move my celebration to a month later because then that just gives me a bit more time between my there's a little more space in events between my birthday and the anniversary celebration. It's only a month out. It's close enough. But yeah. So what I ended up deciding to do is because I was like kind of like indecisive with a lot of things. Those are just my birthday is the 22nd of June. Oh, so it's been a few months prior already. I'm moving off the camera. But yeah, so it'll just be kind of like a variety stream. I haven't got like a solid like time slot thing. Now I was trying to word it like it was in the past. Things that can be misinterpreted. It's fine. Yeah, so yeah, it will just be kind of like a variety of stuff. So there'll be some games, some hanging out. It won't be VRChat because it's hard to do VRChat and other stuff because I have to basically reset up the whole stream to do VRChat and stuff. But it will be like yeah, I'll just be playing stuff. I was like, at the very least, it will contain some of me doing Shadowverse because I'll probably do my weekend lobby tournament as part of it, just because it's the best time to do it, really. And I'll probably do some practice for probably like as like the finishing part. I'll do practice for the Jeeples Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 tournament. That's on the next day. That'll be part of the marathon. Other than that, it could be fucking anything. I don't know. There's a few like games I just want to play that I can't really make a stream series out of. Like fight against. Yes, I am in. As I have posted about, I am in Jeeples Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 tournament that will be coming up on this Sunday at 8 p.m. BST, so just slightly earlier than my usual stream time. Jeeple's great. It's so nice and cheerful. And so good at just like getting these events sorted and organized. Very, very good. If I wasn't in VRChat, I'd probably shout them out, but I am. And all that yeah, they do so much good art. Instead, if you haven't seen it yet, they have they draw like art for yeah. Everyone in the tournament, and it's like, all right, now I'm remembering. Taco. You have some kind of problem. Like, okay, I'm going to be honest with you. If you have a personal, like, problem with Jeeple, just shh. I don't want to hear it. I don't care. They're my friend, and I don't want to get in the drama. If you have like, if I raid into someone, unless it's like an actual dangerous thing, which I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be. I'm pretty sure this is just like the vibe I'm getting. It is a personal thing, but yeah. So in future, yeah, if I am like raiding Jeeple in the future, just leave. You don't have to stick around. You don't have to stick around raid. You don't have to say anything. You can just leave, because otherwise I feel very weird and anxious about it. So that's just a note in the future. Is like, you don't have to like be like, oh, yeah, thank you for the apology. So yeah, it's just a bit undecorum to be like, oh, mysterious, because then you just make things just sour the mood a little bit. But yes, we can all move past that. I've said there's not really much else to say about the tournament, really. Just that it's happening. I've got some Jeeple drew a cute little picture of me with a skateboard that I used up in my schedule art. So yeah. God, I'm just gonna like grab you a bit, remind you about the fucking spiral ceiling here. This is like such a cool world. Like, I would go explore places, but I don't know where to get. You got command grabbed. Yeah. The classic grab the camera in VRChat. Be like, I fucking get you! Ah! Okay, sorry for anyone that made you a bit emotion sick. But, you know, like, there was. If I had some more time, I'd probably prep and remember to go to one of the other places that's probably, like, a bit nice to look at for just to sit in a chat. I have found out that the, turning off the, you see the chair there, which you can kind of see. That is indeed turns off all the chair nodes. Would have been nice to have last stream, but this stream doesn't matter. I'm standing up. I could sit down while standing up, but I'm not going to. That would just be confusing. But yeah, there's a reminder if you didn't see the last VRChat stream that was in. Those are kind of like going through the sort of this world. It's like called Organism. It's a world that's been around for a while. It's this big sprawling liminal, basically a big sprawling liminal space with a lot of weird, kind of like semi-comfortable, semi-creepy vibes. And it's just kind of like, okay, if I can't think of anywhere else to go, this is a good default. But unfortunately, the one places I do... We didn't get to push all the buttons in the end. There was a lot of buttons. I pushed one of them, and then it fucking dropped me into an endless abyss that made me fall from the sky back here. I don't know if there is a secret combination that leads you to a secret room. As far as I'm aware, like all the codes and stuff are just for because there's a bunch of other doors in the lobby. If you grab it, you can see over there. It's like the codes and stuff are just to input into the wall things, and then you have like a and then that's just like basically getting your fast travel codes so you can go to the later areas after you've been through the place. I can't check my... Problem with being in VR, can't check my little notebook. So I can't check I don't think I didn't... So I didn't make the notes, I didn't write them down. I mean, I probably could just look them up, but, you know. Spoils the fun of it. But there's like, the kind of like warped apartment square. Still a chill place to hang out. And it's got this kind of like nice, slightly draining. I need to find. Hang on a second. Find my water bottle. Just step over here. Check, I'm putting it back on my desk. There we go. Yeah. But yeah, it's a very cool place. It's like if you've got any kind of VR inkling, even if you're on desktop, I would highly recommend checking it out and having a look around. But yeah, other than that, yeah, I've got a very busy weekend, kind of like normal general week. Will I be able to keep playing Galarian's Ashes? The real question. Why did I do this to myself? Why did I think, okay, like I finished Overblood 2 and I was like, okay, I want to play a game that's, I do kind of want to, because I want to see just, there's the morbid curiosity when you're playing just kind of games that are old and fucked. Do you think your 3-year stream will go extra long? I hope so. Well, I can go decently long, so I'll be starting at 2 p.m. BST, and I'll hopefully be going till like 10, maybe even midnight, so it'll be, I'd say, it's a safe bet it would be at least about 8 hours-ish. So, it'll go past like this time of day, So yeah, don't worry if you can't get up for the earlier. It's going to be, it is quote unquote a marathon, so it will be going a decent while. Maybe I'll remember to take plenty of breaks, drink plenty of water, stand up, do stretches, and all that stuff. But yeah, it will definitely be at least going decently far into the evening. Maybe not until midnight, but close to it. Adjusting my headset a little bit. But yes. The other thing, but yeah, like there's the whole, but yeah, like maybe I shouldn't have gone straight into Galarian's Ash right after Galarian's because it's too soon after having played Overblood 2. The thing is, but it's whilst Galarian's Ash is also bad, it's also bad in a different way than Overblood 2, and at least in Galarian's Ash, whilst you're doing all the shitty flag hunting, you are at least playing the game, which is janky and funny in its own way. And it's fun to kind of like see how you can fuck up the combat. That's always the fun with these kind of jank games, is like the combat might be terrible, but if you can break it in a funny way. Also, the new game I'm doing this week is Unsighted. It's a game like I've played a bit of before, not on stream, but like off stream on my own. It is a top-down action game with a pixel art style, and it is about sad gay robots, so similar in that genre to Signalis, but a very different type of game. It's more action-y than survival horror, really. If you've played something like, what was it called? Heart Machine's first game. What was it called? I forgot what they were saying. I mean, there are happy gay robot games, it's just rather probably. I just haven't played them. But yeah, it's all Hyperlight Drifter, that's the game I'm thinking of. It's very much like Hyperlight Drifter if you've played that before, though obviously it's got its own spin on things, its own standards, and it's got a lot more talking and dialogue and stuff. It's more dialogue driven, so it ends up being also a bit more like crosscode or something like that. And yeah, it's fun and good, and I just never really got around to finishing it. So I'm basically streaming it as a way to be like, okay, I finally just have to commit to playing through this game, because I keep starting it and then stopping it and then having to play it again. But yeah, it's got some cool stuff that'll kind of like be, I want to like save to reveal until the stream. But yeah, I just wanted to finally get it because they are making another game. The same studio is making another game that's coming up that also looks really cool. Don't need to finish Hollow Knight. I was like, eventually I will play Silksong. Well, if I'll play Silksong on stream or not, that's a different question. But I don't really want to, like, I've got too many other stuff I want to play, and I'm not really in the mood for a big Metroidvania, I think. Or whatever you can want to call Silksong or whatever. I do want to play it eventually, because I did like Hollow Knight. Sounds like you're committing to a big Metroidvania. But I'm not playing any Metroidvanias at the moment. I would like to play a classic, there's a few, like, big retro games I do want to play on stream in a bit, just to play through, like, but I'm not entirely sure what, like, order I want to do in. And probably the stuff something I start playing after Galarian's Ash is over. So you can look forward to a well-known good game from the list of many options. Because I could commit to fucking Final Fantasy VII. I've seen a lot of people have been playing Final Fantasy VII lately. It's got me in the mood to play Final Fantasy VII and get all the things there. Because that's a good game, and that's got Tifa. Tifa's very dear to my heart, as you might guess by my character design. There's also, like, some part of me wants to play some of the older Metroids, or maybe even Metroid Fusion. And, pick a PS3 era game as a retro game to cause a psychological damage. I could stream Bloodborne again under the retro tag. Did I have I can't remember if when I streamed Bloodborne. I think I put it under the Bloodborne tag because I imagine the Bloodborne tag would have more traffic. But yeah, I don't know if I'll do whenever I'll do another Bloodborne marathon. I do really want. I kind of wish I did keep doing that as a regular thing. You can't afford therapy. Who can? But I did want to get to the point where I could do the whole game and the DLC in a single stream. But I think at that point I would actually get kind of bored of Bloodborne. Just trying to do that, do marathons of that every month. As much as I love the game, it's like you can play a game too much and then you feel like you're a bit like, well, you know, especially if you're trying to do like a semi-speed run where I'm trying to beat the whole fucking game in a single day. Like I can do that once a year maybe. Like I did that with Parasite Eve. But why would I need money for therapy when I can yell all my issues at cute VTubers instead? I'd rather you didn't yell your issues at QTubers. I know you're making a funny joke, but as a general PSA, do not vent your mental health problems at streamers. VTubers or not, we are not your therapist. We are most likely not a licensed therapist, and you're just going to make everything feel really weird. So I know you said that as a joke, but that gave me a good and chopped. You don't have to apologize for it. You just have to say it. It just gives me a good PSA opportunity. You get the head pats now. Pat myself. Just in case you felt cheated. But yeah. So yeah, like you actually needed the head pats. Thank you. Glad. Receive it. Oh. There's one more. Hang on. No, that's... the camera's got it. Mwah! There you go. You fucking animals. Arms going through the tosses. But yeah, the other thing I might want to do is I might want to do the Tomb Raider games. Because that's fun. Like that's also a very big nostalgia thing. I grew up with the Tomb Raider. Like I didn't actually grow up playing many of the Tomb Raider games. I grew up watching my dad play the Tomb Raider games. So I kind of want to do, or maybe I should go through the Tomb Raider games and just actually like play through and complete them myself. Gotta find a way to put my. Someone wants to make a triangle boob PS1 model Aya. And I mod that into Tomb Raider. That would be amazing. I wouldn't want to just like directly import the Vroid into the game. That would just look silly. It has to be authentically PS1 to work. Oh. But yeah, I think probably, speaking at it now, it probably will be Tomb Raider. Because, yeah, everyone plays, you don't see it as often, so I get to fill a bit of a niche. But also, yeah, it's like, it'll be an interesting thing actually playing through the games properly myself, rather than just having memories of watching my dad play them and then me trying them for a bit and being really crap at them. So I know the first ones are also pretty rough in terms of like controls, because it was very early 3D platforming stuff, but there's some stuff. There's interest to be there. Rolling the hips. They can be pretty clunky, and we're not just talking about Lara's boobs. Sorry, I'm doing a little... I'm rotating... And this is why I need full body tracking, so you can see me rotating my hips. I think as much as clunk as much as they poke. True. Very sharp, handled with care. But you've got a very boob track. Always. Is this? I'm just rolling my hips around to keep them. You can imagine the hips. You can imagine the hips rolling around. That eventually I'll have Like, in a month or so, I'll have full body tracking, and then you'll be able to see that, and that'll be funny. But yeah, the famously... Was it just... I think it was just... They were only that pointy in... Then it's fucking over... Oh yeah, you're fucking dead, Ivy. I'm coming for your ass there. More ways than one. But, yeah, the... You know, it's like... It's only a super point... Ivy. It was only... Yeah, no, these are very bold, but yeah, like I remember, like the only super triangle Lara Croft moves.
About damn time.
Oh, that's a name that I'm not going to say out loud, but thank you. I should turn the follower notification names off, really. Just it's inevitable, I suppose. The thing is, if I turn the follower names off, I'm still going to see them. It's just not exposing everyone else to them. Like, I'll still have the notification up because I feel like that's cute to have, but like not have the actual names. At least they're honest about it. Yeah. At least they're willing to follow a live streamer with a follow alert. Maybe they didn't know I had follower alert names on the screen. But I feel like that's a safe thing to assume with a lot of streamers, even though it is going off. But anyway, now we've semi-called them out, which probably makes them feel even more anxious. So my apologies. But you did choose that username, so you must understand this fate. It's probably not the first time it's happened. Yeah. Live by the sword, die by the sword. Exactly. Yeah, it's all... If I turn... I just noticed when I turn my head to the side, the camera controls turn with it. That's neat. I need some more water, hang on. Blindly feeling about for a water bottle. And putting it back on the desk whilst not taking the heads off is probably more risky. Oh. Okay, I don't want to do more VRChat. I need to just, like, ask more people to hang out in VRChat, really. But then it's always a hard thing. It's like, oh, we're like, oh, this person I'd love to hang out with VRChat, but they don't have a VR set up, so thusly it's going to be a bit awkward. And it's fun. Yeah, idling in VR. Oh yeah, to get your fuck out of visitor jail. It is fun. It is a lot of fun. I do want to. I want to do like just actually go to a social event, but I don't know where to like find ones that aren't going to be too overwhelming. I need to know one where people I know are there. And I don't know any people who actually do like big social hangouts. They mostly just fucking hang out with their own social cliques, which fair. But then I feel very anxiety about asking them. That's the problem when most of your friends are other streamers. If you've got friends with someone you consider like someone you look up to or whatever, and then you're like, oh, I could ask this person to hang out, and you just still feel a bit of a pressure on it. And it's like, what? I'm gonna get over this. It's weird and strange and. But that's all. Just stuff to get over with, really. I don't really know what I'm saying at the moment now. What am I saying? What is going on? back of my head would hurt after a while and be like, again, it's gonna vary a lot depending up from person to person how easy it is to get used to and how on like just any levels is like if you can, it's best to like try it out from something before you have to, you know, buy a headset or whatever. So like it is always like so yeah, it is a bit, it is unfortunately like some people, I said, I don't know if your lazy eye would affect it or if you get motion sick very easily. There's all kinds of complications. There's some people who get motion sick usually really often in like cars and whatever. Find VR fine, but also some people who are fine with anything else get really motion sick in VR. And for a lot of people, they just have to like have an adjustment period where they get used to it. As I said, I consider by talking to other people, I realize I'm a rare exception where I was just like able to just go, naturally adapted very well to it. But if you're gonna recklessly spend money on me, but you don't actually have to. Please be careful with your money. I would like a nicer headset though, so I can just my arms don't go a bit off whenever everything's. You did buy sub for 6 months off the bat and some dono, so you've already done a decent enough recklessly spending on me. Yeah, you're spending your money on plastic minis. You can't say shit. At least that's a physical item. It's not like gacha or whatever. I think that's probably the most pointlessly reckless thing to spend too much money on. Is gacha games. They're evil. You can see, I just really noticed just how much I kind of like just step around while standing. No, you're immune to gacha games. I'm not completely immune to gacha games. I feel like I'm resistant at this point. You don't need the ZZZ e-girls. You don't need the game to look at the ZZZ girls. People are making enough porn online. Usually with actual fat asses. Like, why would I play Zenless Zone Zero and gacha for these ladies so I can be queer-baited by fucking vague Yuri dialogue when I could just search the tags online and see the girls just actually having sex? Checkmate, mihoyo. I said, I don't really have that much of a leg of stand on with the amount of Shadowverse I play, but I don't spend that much money. I don't spend money on the gacha at the very least. I occasionally spend money on cosmetics and stuff. I don't spend money on card packs. Yeah, like, I'm not gonna, like, go too harsh on people being like, oh, but I love my Zenless Zone Zero, or my Honkai Star Rail, or my Uma Musume. Who knows, maybe in a few months I'll be, like, trapped by Arknight's Endfield. I can't say if I'm immune to that. If that actually ends up being something I enjoy playing, that's dangerous. That's the problem we have in this society. They're making gacha games for everybody these days, and they all look shiny and pretty and stuff, and then you can only hope they make a normal game. The thing is, the Hypergriff, the Arknight's developer, did make a normal game. They did make a game that you just pay money for and you own. You know what the problem is? The problem is it is a phone-only game. It is oh yeah, they're making a gacha Destiny. That's just fucked up. Like, that's not even like, okay, you're going to make this high budget, cool cinematic game with all these cool characters. Like, no, that's just Sony being greedy fucks. Because Destiny is already a bit just completely fucked for a long time. But yeah, no, fucking... There's a game on there's an RPG on phones called X Astris, and it's not set in the Arknight's world, but it is is very similar, like, look and style, and it's a really fun RPG. But the problem is it's phone only, and my phone is not good enough to run it decently enough because it is a bit graphically intensive. Not too much, but still, not like compared to like Shadowverse Worlds Beyond or whatever. But it is just like, I would love to play this game on like an actual console or a PC, but no, it's just on phones. You could. It sucks because the game is fun. At least what I played of it was fun. Before the game was like, you've entered into a big area now. Time to have 2 frames per second and crash your phone. But yeah, that's one of the things. Like fucking. The things like all of these companies are making like big budget games, just big budget normal games now. Like we're just waiting for Miho to do one. And then everyone will try and rip them off. Because we've had like shit like Grand Blue Fantasy Relic was very good. And people I know because we're all fucking snobs are a bit mixed on Stellar Blade, but it's overall well received. And like those are all games that basically it was like, well, Gacha Game Company has shitloads of money, and so they want to make a big high budget game as well because they have the funds to risk, and it works out pretty well for them. So maybe we'll see more. Maybe Hypergriff will make a big fancy one, and then I can live it. Where's my arm doing? As I said, I really need. I wonder if I can get like if when I do get the body trackers, I just put rather than having the ones on my legs all the time, I have them on my arms, so that my arm tracking is slightly better. So when it's off to the sides, it's just track. I don't know. After the things, this is kind of like games obviously work with Nazis, but the money is something. Yeah, that's always. That's always a pain in the ass. That's the thing. Also, you can't be like. You have to be like, well, my support. Where is my money going? Just like, But anyway. Enough of that. Enough of that. Oop. I don't know why I gave you a boop. I just felt like doing it. I said enough of that, and then I didn't really have a conversation to segue to move into, so I kind of fucked that up, didn't I? But yeah, I do want, like, it's kind of things, because I haven't had this VR headset for long, and, like, it's not like it's broken or anything, it's just, like, it's cheap. I would really like to have something that doesn't, like, if I move my arms off, it doesn't, like, completely fuck up my arm tracking. I don't have to hold my arms. It's more noticeable when I'm standing up because I don't have armrests to rest my arms on. I guess I could just like stand like this. This is a good stance. People like this. No, they don't. It doesn't quite. You're good at pushing my boobs up. I'm currently choice paralysis about. Yeah, it's hard to pick a worthwhile headset because you have to know like what's going to actually work, how fancy do you want to go, and like they're all expensive, so it's a big choice to make. It's actually quite common. It looks like I'm about to sculpt out. I have to have a serious discussion, chat. You have been eating all of the cookies. But I do kind of like stand around with my arms crossed a lot. I am like one of those people who looks like I'm just really annoyed when I'm standing around because I stand around with my arms crossed. And really, I just like, yeah, it's comfortable. Takes some weight off my back from my boobs, kind of. But yeah, it is just wild. But there is like a lot of cool stuff going on. We don't have to worry too much about Gacha's. People are saying, oh, Gacha's gonna take over the world, but it's only really like some games. There's still so many like good games from all kinds of goals. We don't need to. I feel like it's not really worth being too upset about like all the stuff that sucks. There's still loads of indie games. There's still like fucking shit like Digimon Time Stranger is coming out soon. I played the demo for that. That's really fun. So excited for that. I don't think I'll stream that because I want to play it on my own time and be that is. Oh, talking about fucking. Is that I don't usually here's a topic of conversation we can go with the fucking Nintendo Direct nonsense. I don't really like care about the hype cycle of these kinds of things. I find them kind of like just a bit crap. That's all there is. And like I always get confused about when people like enjoy watching Nintendo Directs because half of them are just really boring. Half of it, they'll reveal a game and that'll be exciting, and then they will laboriously explain in detail exactly how, in the most generic terms possible, how you play and control a game. You control the characters. You must use your powers to activate items. Standing here, you realize you were just like me, trying to make... Samus did get a very gay motorcycle that looks kind of terrible. So I hope it's... like, it was kind of concerning seeing Metroid Prime 4 have some kind of open world, but hopefully it'll just be kind of like an area, like just replacing the kind of like middle area hub that you had from stuff like Prime 2. Where you've got your various branching areas, and then you go on your motorcycle and zoom between those. It looks like it's still mostly like actual Metroid Prime gameplay and not zooming around on a bike. But the bike is called... All girls should have motorcycles. I would love to have a motorcycle. As the thing, I would absolutely, if I had loads of money and no massive fear about my own self-preservation, I would have a motorcycle. I would love to have a motorcycle. If you want, I will happily have as much art of me on a motorcycle as possible, especially if it's a cool, weird, fucked up concept bike. I love those things. I love weird fucking concept motorbikes. I do have one commission in the work from one of my Patreon artists who takes 1 billion years, but it gives good stuff. So that will show up eventually. Who knows? We never know. But yeah, I do love a good motorbike, even though I will never actually drive one. And like, Samus's motorbike looks a bit goofy, but again, it is also like hot lesbian on a motorbike. It's just mwah. And also the fucking it's called Viola, so it's just like, if this motorbike has like an AI voice, people are gonna go fucking nuts over it. The art is going to go fucking, well, the art from the people who are smart and big brained will go crazy about it. Just brushing my hair. But yeah, there's that, like, all I think I really internalized from the Nintendo Direct is Samus is getting a big game motorcycle. They're remaking Danganronpa 2 with another Danganronpa, and also including another Danganronpa 2 story that is going to be incredibly funny. I must play that immediately the moment it comes out. I have to know what they do with it, because they could do so much fucking nonsense with Danganronpa 2X2. Will it be all, like, even if it's awful and terrible, I have to know. I've grown up, I've consumed too much Danganronpa to back up now, if they're actually putting more actual Danganronpa. It's like, fuck, you got me. I could put off getting all the roots in 100 line, but Danganronpa? Oh, fuck. Never heard of that game? Your friend got mad? I mean, it's you're probably blessed to not have heard of Danganronpa. It is. It's one of those games where you can enjoy it a lot, but you really don't want to engage with the fandom, which is a lot of games, really. But like, whoa, boy, things get fucking stupid and infuriating in that fandom. It was one of the bigger ones of like, oh god, one of the old, as said, really infamous Tumblr era ones, similar on the level to like Homestuck and all that shit. But yes, oh god, I am so looking forward to Danganronpa 2. That's the only thing is, also they managed to fucking kill my hype for Pokemon's Legends ZA. It's fucked up Nintendo didn't announce any GameCube NSO games. Also, yeah, Kingdom Hearts fandom also very similar in times of like fucking nonsense. There's always all that kind of level of general fuckery. Yeah, no game, but they did announce Virtual Boy games that you need a peripheral to play. You can either have a shit piece of cardboard for what, $30? $30 for a piece of for a bit of cardboard and a couple of lenses? And the lenses might actually be almost worth it. Or $100 for a big piece of plastic for the authentic Virtual Boy experience, except it weighs 1 billion times more because it's got a whole fucking Switch in it. Probably Switch. Yeah, I think it's only Switch 2 compatible because they need the fancier screens. They just made virtual. It's like, it's not even a new Virtual Boy. It's just a peripheral for the Nintendo Switch 2. And you have to spend loads of money. Or if you have a VR headset, you could just get there are Virtual Boy emulators for VR that you can just play. And it's probably going to look a lot better than the fucking official Nintendo one. Yeah, that's messed up. Like I said, the whole fucking Nintendo Switch Online stuff is like, I would like to play some classic Nintendo games. And Nintendo goes, well, would you like to pay an exorbitant monthly fee? And I'm like, no, I would like to buy them, please. And Nintendo like, no, you may not purchase these games. You may only access them via a subscription service. And I'm like, fuck you, I won't then. I'll just emulate the fucking fuckers. But yeah, that was fucking wild. Because I only support real Virtual Boy consoles. Like, friend of the channel, brace for haste. You're making you mad, I want to forget, but you can't in this world. That's the ducks! Well, we must live within the regretful memories of all this shit that fucking capitalism has done to us. We must burn that anger as fuel for the rocket journey or whatever. Some other motivational bullcrap. I'm not here for that. I'm here to also rant about the fact that they made fucking Legends ZA fucking suck. It's got fucking seasonal battle pass like rewards, including the fucking... They finally made megas for the fucking X and Y starters, and then locked them behind, and then like they did the announcement of the megas for the X and Y starters, and I was like, yay! And then you read the announcement, you read the actual web detailed announcement, and it's like, you can only get these from doing our seasonal ranked matches, and it's like, oh, it's that kind of game. Oh no. And then even more is like, oh, by the way, if you transfer a Pokemon to Legends ZA, then you can't transfer it back, probably because they're removing IVs or whatever. Which is just kind of like, nyeh. I mean, you can transfer Pokemon to Arceus anyway. So that was its own thing, but I think it's like, it's weird to me that they're making, like, trying to make Legends ZA into this competitive battle thing, whilst also having Pokemon Champions come out. It's another competitive battle thing. It's like, huh? Why are you trying to do both at the same time? You're fucking insane. I mean, they're both kind of like kind of different because Champions is going to be a free app, whilst ZA is a full game. But still, And also, I feel like Nintendo's online netcode still sucks, right? Why are you trying to shell a 4-player online Pokemon game with real-time battle as a big competitive thing with ranked seasonal rewards? About how Pokemon fans are both overserved and mistreated. True. They are given Pokemon fans are given a wealth of everything, so many things other fandoms and other franchises would wish for. And yet most of it is fucked because there is some kind of monkey's paw bullshit with all of them. And you're like, well, this is a great idea, but it doesn't run well, but you can't do half the shit, but the story sucks, but it's fucking a live service nonsense game. I was so... Like I wasn't going to buy it on release because I don't have a Switch 2 and I know it'll run like complete arse on a Switch 1. So it was like, oh, that'll be a nice thing. Now I don't think I want to get, like... It was always like, oh, okay, I'll get a Switch 2 eventually. I'll get it when they... If they ever make like a Switch 2 Lite, that would be preferable because I don't want something to sit in a dock. I want something that's basically a handheld. So I'd love a Switch 2 Lite that's just like a single unit handheld thingy with a smaller screen and smaller form factor and all that jazz. But now I'm just like, well, if all the games that I was excited for are kind of crap, actually, do I really want to buy a whole console just to play, what, Metroid Prime 4? Fucked up, man. It's fucked up! Why you gotta fuck everything up, Nintendo? There. But yeah, that was that. Well, there was like a bunch of there's the second remaking Dragon Quest VII again, and it looks pretty. It looks like they've got like kind of like based on like clay models kind of deal. And that's cute, but like Dragon Quest VII already got remade. There's like billions of other Dragon Quest games that I think people would like to see. Dragon Quest remakes don't make fucking sense because they're just like they're not doing them in order. I am using a different mic for VR. This is the microphone attached to the headset, so it is significantly worse and has less good noise cancelling than my standard microphone. Like, I could try making use of my standard microphone, but then it means I don't get... It's not reliable when I'm, like, talking and not, like, facing into the screen or whatever, because I turn my head around a lot. I move about a lot. Like, I kind of, like... I've got, like, a carpet to kind of, like, under my feet to kind of use to keep myself positioned and facing the right way. But yeah, it is a significantly worse microphone that I use for VR for VRChat streams, because it is just the basic microphone that's on the headset, and it's not a headset with a particularly good microphone in the first place. Again, this is a cheap headset, so it's like, again, relatively cheap. It was still over £100. So yeah, some part of it's aren't going to be good quality. It's like the main decent quality parts of this headset are the screens. The screen's very good. It's standard, like it's... I realize VR standard screens are probably a bit higher than like even monitors and stuff, because they usually like... because you really want to have that super high resolution, but it's still 4K, and 4K is pretty good. And it's got really good speakers, which doesn't really pick up on your end. But for my end side, it's like most VR headsets don't even have like things you need a separate headset. These ones actually have speakers built in, and that's actually one of the big pluses of this one. Is it's one with the, especially it's the same kind of like slightly off ear earphone speakers that the really expensive Valve, whatever the fuck it's called, has. It is literally the same technology. They said they did it via a partnership with Valve Index. Yeah, it's got the Valve Index speakers that kind of like sit quite slightly off your ear, and so it's just very nice and kind of immersive because you don't have like an earphone sticking in your ear or an if headphones like covering your ear and making it all hot and sweaty. So that's the one like really really big thing about this is I wanted to have the same kind of headphones. I'd have to fucking buy a fucking Valve Index, and that's £1,000. Also, you did the headpat redeem, so headpats for chat bands. Reversal. Because I can't do like reactive redeems and stuff unless I want to set up a bunch of stuff for streams I only do like every couple of weeks anyway. Oh. Was it? Could have been the one, but I gave myself a little head pat. You can thank you for that, but yeah, I cannot summon a hand to head pat me in VR. I can pat myself. Oh. Stretching all over the place. Yeah, it's all. I talking though. I get to like air out some things, but yeah, like I don't need to watch fucking Nintendo Directs to be excited about cool new things. There's loads of cool new things happening all the time, and we all get too hyped about these fucking big fucking releases or whatever that end up being a bit disappointing. I'm just like, why do we do this? Why do we care so much about things that are not worth the money? That's a question for the life and the world. Yeah, I'm excited for a bunch of weird indie nonsense coming out, like Abyss Zero and it's hard, like, it's one of those things where it's like, oh god, everything's got. So whilst I'm excited for the games, the names of the games are like are all really hard to remember. Especially because I'm looking at a lot of those. Gotta have something to look forward to. Anything else that you can look forward to things. You can look forward to good things. Just you don't need to look forward to things that are gonna cost you 60, like I was like $18-90. Sorry, I only said pounds. They'll be slightly cheaper than they won't be that. Some of them will be pounds because people don't know how to do currency conversions. But oh, fucking Blade Sight. I look forward to good things like items. Thank you. I'm glad I give something to look forward to. That makes things feel all quite worth it to be some kind of positive influence on the world in these dark times. But yeah. There's cool stuff like fucking Blade Sight. I know that's probably still maybe even years out from reaching the Badlands game, and that looks so fucking cool. I'm going to be so excited for when that actually comes out. Sorry, got some hiccups. Yeah, the Parasite Eve-like being made by some of the people on Sukaban Games. That'll be good. Hopefully it'll come out, but it'll probably come out before Nirvana at this rate. So I feel like they don't have the same the problem with Nirvana is they're just having a lot of trouble writing it, and just like having a lot of cases of writer's block and stuff about it, and just getting it to a full story. And also like Parabellum hopefully won't have the same issue because it's got more action mechanics. It's less of a narrative heavy. It's probably still quite narrative heavy, but you know what I mean. It's got more of a yep, that's the one. Yeah, they've been forever delaying. I mean, Silksong came out, so anything can happen, really. Like, that was the thing, people look forward to Silksong for years, and then it came out, and it's only $20, and it's good, from what I heard. I haven't played it, but I do hear it's good. And they were just like, oh, we were just, like, taking our time. We weren't weren't like crunching or anything. We're just like, we'll just make this at our own pace. And it just took them a while. It's a big game. Big game. Lots of fancy art animations. Takes a while. But it takes a while to make if you're not like killing yourselves. You're like, you might still have like a pretty large team for it. Like Silkon is not is one of those weird things of like, well, it's kind of indie, but not really because the team kind of like got quite large. But it's still, like as I said, a large team working at a sustainable pace still takes a while for a game of that size and artistic caliber, of artistic effort. Because you've, again, like something that's like all very mobile, very fluid, drawn sprites and everything. That's a very time-consuming thing to create. Is this all, but you wanted to get the cocktail book that requires getting entire cocktail? So yeah. Yeah, that seems nice. Like, and also that's not something that really interested me because of course I don't fucking drink alcohol at all. Yeah, I've had some friends that's like, I think I watched like Vox's donathon stream where she made some drinks from that. That was fun. Some motion in there. Move your body. We're going an exercise stream now. Hop, hop, ha, 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 ha. We're not doing that. It was not a dab. It was a hero pose. I did not cover my face with my arm, so it's not a dab. You're brain rot. You're fucking brain rotted. There's a camera, like, I'm gonna just move to somewhere. No, that has all the credits and stuff. Let's have a door behind me. Yeah. It's all... What was I saying now? I will refuse to say I contribute to brain rot. It is that I'm a smart streamer. Watching Ayasami streams heals your brain. Does not rot your brain. I'm a brain healing streamer. Your brain's being healed. Is your brain rotted? I'll sort of that. I can help. Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go. Well, shit. Nah. You can't do that shit anymore. You can't do... It's the Goo Goo Gaga time. But you can't say that shit to... I don't know, I feel my body's all laterally moved. I'm trying to think of what kind of, like, dirty comment could possibly be made out of that, but I'm drawing a blank. So you can't do fucking... I mean, they probably couldn't for a while, admittedly. But you can't do fucking baby talk as a funny bit anymore because people have realized that... Because Uma Musume has taught people that's a kink now. So everyone's gonna be weird about it. You're still taking damage over time. No! I thought my presence was supposed to heal you. Oh, my hand is... Again, these fucking trackers. The fucking horses. And the Goo Goo babies. You've played Goo Goo babies with your life on the line. It heals me but causes many other side effects. Ah, one of those kinds of heals. I understand. But yeah, it's all... I've completely lost the plot because I made on the segue bit about fucking... Charm 3 turns, stun 3 turns, skill lock 3 turns. Wow. Powerful. I don't know what I'm doing now. So I'm kind of just like pacing about and moving a bit. Because like I kind of want to just like try and make this stream at least 2 hours, but I might end up stretching it a bit. Stretching it like my long arms. Oh. Exercise stream. Yeah, let's get that blood pumping. You can't see my knees, but must mean they're moving. I really shouldn't do that. I'm wearing jeans. I mean, I'm wearing a tight bodysuit that's very movable. Shush. I shouldn't do that because there's like wires all by my legs. Thank you for the stretch. Oh, stretch. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Mods, can we time out Mr. Taco for 5 minutes? No, I can't. I don't know if I have one mod and I'm not even entirely sure if he's online. Because I'm just like, I don't want to give other people responsibility. It's like, it helps things feel a bit more kind of casual when, like, no, you don't see mod swords all the time. Yeah. Great power is overrated. Sounds funny. Because great power, great responsibility. Now we can segue into Spider-Man and talk about the fucking culmination of nonsense Fortnite-ification of, wouldn't be the first time you've been timed out for awful punnage anyway, true. the Fortnite-ification of Magic the Gathering with their shite-ass Spider-Man set. And it's like really kind of funny that like it's got mostly mediocre cards, but a handful of absurd cards, and all of the absurd cards are like villain characters. Like almost all of the Spider-Man cards are excessively safe. Like any form of Spider-Man in the Spider-Man set is just like okay, it can be might be a bit decent. Maybe there's a broken one interaction with this own, but on like initial first blush, there's and the fucking Cosmic Spider-Man, the ultimately powerful Spider-Man with 5 colors, and his main ability is to hit you kinda good. He just has all the kind of like better at hitting keywords and none of the like survivability keywords, none of the fucking actual ones that make it do more damage. And he just gives those keywords to other Spider-Men who's just like, okay, that's whatever. It's like you've given Spider-Man flying on your first time, even though most of them have reach or have gained flying on your turn anyway, because that's how they mechanicize like doing the web swinging. And then Electro, who just obliterates you, who is fucking Red Omnath, who kills you. They fucking strapped red mana Omnath to a fucking nuclear bomb and said, good luck, fucking idiot. And that's fucking Electro of all people. It's like, what the fuck? And there's a Lady Doc Ock card who's like 1 mana and very easily accelerates into cheating out every artifact in the game. So it's like, yeah, sure, fucking one round around the table and you're cheating out a fucking Blightsteel. Fuck me, I guess. I haven't played card games IRL in a long time. I just haven't. I don't have the local scene really to play it, and most of the I kind of like lost interest in Magic the Gathering, so I don't really know what else to play. Like I can't really get into Yu-Gi-Oh, that's too expensive. Pokemon's also kind of expensive and also not particularly interested in, so I'd have to find something. So the rest would just be kind of like niche and hard to like actually get into. Like I could still play like some casual Commander games with my old deck, but I don't think I want. I don't want to fucking sit down to a Commander game and have to play against someone playing fucking SpongeBob SquarePants as their commander because they made him into a proxy card for fucking Joda. It's like, what the fuck? Why? So it's just like, yeah. I don't want to sit down at a table and watch as I get fucking obliterated by my, like... It'll be funny the first time to get obliterated by walking nuclear bomb child Vivi Orniter, but it'll happen so often because they made him too good. They gave my boy too many words. Why did they give him the ability to ramp? Oh, sorry if I'm getting a bit too deep in the beans of card talk, but I can't really see. It's very hard to explain to someone without like prior card game knowledge how busted some of this shit is. Like I explain it to you as well. Vivi Orniter is the 3-mana 1/0/3 who has the ability for 0 mana once per turn to... Yeah, it's going to be popular in VR streams, aren't they? Who has the ability to activate it. He has an ability he can activate once a turn, but hang on. I pressed the mute button in VRChat, which means my mouse stops moving. Once per turn to add an amount of mana, amount of red or blue mana into your mana pool for his power. But obviously his power starts at 0, so you're just like, okay, that's not too bad. But every time you cast a non-creature spell, Vivi gains a +1/+1 counter, which means he gains 1 power and 1 toughness, and he deals 1 damage to all opponents. What? That's insane! It does sound strong. Because you get a fucking mana refund for every time you cast a non-creature spell, which could include an artifact, a cheap artifact that you can tap for mana. So you get a fucking to make him so he gets fucking 4 forms of boost from any non-creature spell. You're playing a fucking mana rock, and he goes, "Oh, that's a non-creature spell." I think it's like that's not even what he's used for in competitive scenes. There is a what even sucks more is how he's actually played in competitive scenes. You aren't using the his actual body at all. What you're doing is you're playing a card called I can't remember the owner's name of it, but it's a legendary artifact called the Soul Cauldron. And the Soul Cauldron says you get to exile a card from a graveyard and put a +1/+1 counter on a thing. And then anything that has a counter on it has all activated abilities of any card exiled by the Cauldron, like Vivi's mana ability. So you can just... You shove Vivi into a Cauldron to put a counter on something with actual attack power, and then you put counters on all the things that have actual attack power, and all those things are now producing mana equal to their power. It's like, fuck! Because you can have multiple creatures, or you can have any number of tokens, and just all over the place. You can do whatever the fuck you want. It's just like, why? I know why, because they pushed it too heavily. That's the rant you can probably hear from literally any Magic the Gathering streamer or YouTuber is how Vivianita is a menace and awful and terrible, despite the fact he is one of the most beloved characters in Final Fantasy IX. Yeah. But yeah, I haven't bought Magic the Gathering even before the fork notification. Really, I just didn't have anyone. I was back then. That was because I didn't have anyone to really play with, because I'd moved. Basically, I stopped having people to play Magic the Gathering when I stopped going to university. Really, that was my social group to play Magic the Gathering with. And then when I tried to go to local game stores or something, I couldn't really get a foot in with people, so I just didn't really enjoy it. You bought a Commander Star to learn no one in this country plays Commander. Gabe, what big country do you live in? Commander's insanely popular. Well, yeah, that's the thing. The fucking Final Fantasy set sold absolute crack. Oh, Poland, okay. That's still surprising. Commander is the most the most popular set, so I thought it would be popular everywhere, but it's not that popular in Poland. Probably because it's too fucking expensive. Yeah, that is odd. Because literally everywhere else, everyone's playing Commander. It's the most successful, most popular format. It's interesting to see that it's just not played at all in Poland. That's interesting. But yeah, the Final Fantasy set was also just completely sold out because we live in the age of fucking scalpers or something, so if anything is seen to have any kind of value, it's gone forever. And you just can't fucking buy it. And there was a lot of limited edition. That's the problem with these sets, is they put a lot of limited edition crap in it. So the collectors spend £1 billion on it so that they can sell them for £1 billion more, and it's all fucked. And it all started with the Lord of the Rings set. Fuck you for making that limited edition One Ring. That was the thing, is the moment they introduced there is a special version of this card there is only one copy going to be printed. And then a slightly less special version that is only 100 being printed. And then it's all just oh, you just set the market for just everyone buying all of this shit for 1 billion reasons. And it's just oh, it's fucked. It is flavorful if the One Ring only has one copy. And I mean, it's not that's the thing though, is you still have to make it so it's an available card for the card game, unless it's completely crap. But it wasn't completely crap, it was an incredibly powerful card. So you still have the standard version of the One Ring that's just it's only an aesthetic difference. It's just a particularly shiny card. There is a particularly shiny version with fancy art and all that stuff of the One Ring. It's not even written in fucking Elvish. That's what gets me, is the single of all the things you could do with a fucking super rare Lord of the Rings card that's not really meant to see play and just meant to be a collector's item, is you could at least write the fucking thing in Elvish. It's not it's the first time they've done it. They've written cards in fucking Phyrexian, and that doesn't even have a fucking proper... That's not even a proper fucking language. Well, I mean, Elvish isn't a proper language, it was less established. Was black speech, whatever. I'm not enough of a Lord of the Rings. Either way, the fact that it's just got the name written down. I don't know if it actually has rules text on it. It might be a full art card. But still, the name is still written the One Ring or whatever. But yeah. I understand the flavor behind it, but you have to, again, it just creates this really shitty collector's economy around the whole set. And then they're well, we'll do it again with there's I don't think there's a one of, but there are a limited selection of chocobo or fancy chocobo colors. Also a bunch of funny limited. What gets me about the recent collectors, limited collector stuff, is part of along with the standard okay, we've made some fancy art for these cards, or these cards are full art or whatever. They've got like source material art cards that are just full art cards with no borders. They do have the rules text on them, but they don't have any like text box or anything. They're just like the text with outlines on them, and using just straight up art assets from the source material, maybe slightly upscaled a bit. And like these are all the thing about all these cards is that none of these are like new cards. They're all like either proxy cards whilst they say the name of the thing with that like legally count as another existing card. And like they clearly have when they make these sets, they clearly have like, okay, here is the list of cards available for the source material art cards of like here's of existing Magic cards, and here is the artworks we have available, and then we just have to assign them, even if some of them don't. Because you get shit like fucking the romantic scene in Final Fantasy X, the very, 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 very sweet, very, very heartwarming romantic scene in Final Fantasy X, and I won't say more than that, but it is a very well-known and famous scene. And the card that counts as? That counts as Ristic Study, baby. If you've played Magic the Gathering, especially if you've played Commander for any length of time, you're fucking just went, why? Why Ristic Study? Why one of the most despised cards that's still not quite powerful enough to actually get banned in Commander? For those unaware, Ristic Study is a blue enchantment, which means it's a card that stays on the field for 2 mana. And it says on it, whenever an opponent plays a spell, which is whenever they play anything that isn't a land, you may ask them to pay 2 mana. If they do not pay an additional 2 mana, then you get to draw a card. It is... He just stopped at blue enchantment and we had it true. But you know, Ristic Study is very like it's not a card that's good in like legacy formats because it's too slow, but in Commander and a multiplayer format, it's just like, okay, this is just annoying. Again, one of the most annoying parts of Ristic Study is it is a May effect, which means to get the value out of this card, you in fact have, by legal definitions, to get the value out of this card, you have to be an incredibly annoying person. But every time someone casts a spell, you have to ask them if they are paying the 2. Because if you don't ask them, then they're just going to ignore you, because they're going to... You clearly did not activate the trigger. Because you didn't ask. Because it's a may, not a you have to. And it's just, it can draw you a billion cards, you're playing blue so you can protect it with counter spells or whatever. And again, this is mostly used in Commander, which is typically a 4-player format. So going round a table of 4 players, that can generally draw a lot of cards, especially if you play it really early. And people just don't have the mana to remove it. So it's just like, sorting out my hair, it's all getting tangled with the wires. Yeah, that's the magic. I've ranted about card games, but not ranted about Shadowverse. Which means now we can segue into the rant about Shadowverse. I don't really have a rant about Shadowverse. Nothing's really much has changed since I last streamed the game line. It's just like you can tell I was really stressed out and feeling bad over the weekend because I completely forgot to yeah, it does operate under a last person standing kind of thing. It's just 4 players, last person standing. And it's kind of like seen as a kind of like casual format. So like you're not expected to bring like your big expense. You're mostly there, you're not there to like necessarily win, you're there to have a good time. You're there to do silly card game things with your friends. Because like the main thing you have to understand about Commander, it is a format where your deck is 100 cards. And you can't have more than a single copy of each card. except for basic lands, because obviously you need a lot of those. So your forests and your swamps and all kind of things, because you need those for your mana, to get your mana out. And you have, it's Highlander, so Highlander format is what these kind of things, and it's called Commander because you have one of your cards is a legendary creature card or a vehicle card or whatever. I don't know how they keep updating the rules or whatever, that is like treated as your commander, and the main thing is that that's a card you always have access to, although every time you cast it, because it lives in a special place called the Command Zone, which is kind of like a semi-outside of the game space. And, no, really part of the game, but basically outside your hand, but still available. You say that, but given all the fucking things, Lightning McQueen as a commander is a disturbing possibility. But yeah, so you have your commander, and it's this creature was as, and also like because Magic the Gathering has colors of mana with what you used to cast different colored spells or whatever. Your commander, the mana symbols, the costs it has on it, that determine what color of cards you can put in your deck. So like if your commander has only red costs on it, this includes both its main cost and its abilities, and then anything else that designates what fucking color it is, because sometimes they do that as well. Then you can only have red cards in your deck, cards that use red mana. You can't use cards that use red mana and black mana or whatever. Yeah, that's kind of commander. So it's kind of like it was originally called EDH, which stands for Elder Dragon Highlander, because by the very original concept of it was specifically, instead of any legendary creature, it was specifically a set of creatures called the Elder Dragons, which are these big fancy dragons, really. And those were your only commander options, really. Back in those days, then obviously grew out, it then became really popular, and then Wizards was like, hey, that's really popular, we would like to make things based on it, so we make an official format, even though it's not run by an official rules committee. But the non-Wizards employed rules committee still gets to make official changes. And then that all boiled to a head when one of the rulings they made affected the fucking collector's market. So the collectors all threw a fucking shit fit, and now the whole committee and sent death threats and whatever. And yeah, it was a whole controversy. Where I was like, they realized, like, okay, this overpowered card is banned, and then the collector's like, well, fucking this card that was recently reprinted as a limited time special card in a higher marked up set is banned, so that's fucking bullshit. We spent a lot of money to resell this card, and now you've made it drop in value. And I have to say, the collectors are fucking bastards. And so they sent death threats to the fucking rules committee, and so the rules committee was like, fine, we're doing this, and we're not doing this anymore. Wizards can handle this now. So now Wizards handle the rules changes for Commander. And then they keep making Commander-based products, and all the cards in the base sets become Commander-based, because it's all become cards made for Commander, because it's so goddamn profitable and everyone fucking plays it. So if you wondered why there's so many sets that include so many billions of legendary creatures, like the Final Fantasy set or the Spider-Man set, now you know why. Because everyone wants Commander cards, they don't want standard cards anymore. And so the cards made for Commander end up absolutely breaking standard, even if they also absolutely break Commander anyway, so it's all kind of fucking pointless. But yeah, that's kind of like one of the reasons why I never felt the urge to try and get back into Magic the Gathering. It's all just a bit fucked. But now you can play Shadow the Hedgehog as your commander. And honestly, the funniest thing about Shadow the Hedgehog as a commander card specifically is that he has one of the most absurdly broken abilities ever printed on a Magic card. But because of the colors that he's printed in, as a commander, he's actually just kind of fine. because it's very hard because he's red-black, which is always been a bit of an underrepresented. If you wanted to make like a really, really powerful commander deck, it's not a particularly common choice. Usually, any kind of powerful commander deck contains some level of blue. So any commander that doesn't have blue mana in it, that doesn't give you access to blue spells, is generally considered not that great. It's like blue and green are kind of like the main colors of top-end competitive commander. And so when you have a commander that's neither of those, they better have a very strong ability to make up for it. And Shadow has an incredibly strong ability. Which basically just, I'm not going to explain the full rules, but he basically just says you don't get to react to any of my bullshit. It's like, yes, my combos are uncounterable, but my combos are bad. Because I don't have access to the really good combo cards. Or the really good access to card draw because I'm not in blue, or counter spells to actually stop other people's bullshit. Screw all the rules, I have edge. He has chaos control. All the spells you cast have split second. It's fucked up. But again, it's fair because he's a red-black character that can only be played in Commander. But like, maybe you can do some fancy. You can do a fucking goofy-ass win condition, because Knuckles was also part of the Sonic set was just a small, like, handful of cards. As in, you could put him in a real deck, but then it's not that consistent then. He's still, like, 4 mana, so it doesn't really work out that much. What's funny is, he plays really well with Knuckles, who was in the little special set as well. And because Knuckles just has an ability that says at the start of your turn, if you have 30 or more artifacts, you win. He's just got a win. They just printed a fucking win con on Knuckles for some reason. Just like, what? Like, I know he seeks treasure and all that stuff. That's his game plan. He's seeking all his Master Emerald shards or whatever. In the worst fucking levels in any given Sonic Adventure game. But just saying you get to win if you have a bunch of rocks. Okay. Magic the Gathering, baby. Magic the Gathering and Knuckles. True, if you're making a deck with red in it and you generate a bunch of artifacts like treasure or what, like a bunch of low value artifacts like treasure or whatever, or food is artifacts in Magic the Gathering, by the way. Then you can just slap Knuckles in there and just win from fucking having a lot of rocks. But yeah, and there's like, what you're most likely to see though is you're most likely if you roll up to a Magic the Gathering Commander game with random people, you are almost certainly going to get beaten to death by SpongeBob, because SpongeBob, whilst not being technically a card on his own, is an alt version of an incredibly powerful commander called Joda the Unifier, who basically just says if you have a bunch of legendary creatures, you get to fuck shit up. And you can run a lot of legendary creatures in 5 colors in Commander. And they made a SpongeBob SquarePants as an alternate version of them. SpongeBob SquarePants is a 5/5. He can beat up dragons. I mean, you could argue a lot of things are pay to win in Commander. Like, you could just like get the original version of Joda. Mechanically, it's the same. It doesn't have the psychological damage of playing SpongeBob. But again, SpongeBob was also a limited time set thing. So if you want to do the psychological damage of SpongeBob, you do have to spend a lot of money because you can't buy him anymore. Oh, more the amount of legendaries, yeah. Oh yeah. Which is definitely a Joda deck is incredibly expensive. Like, you could make it by using a bunch of cheap crap legendaries just to get the effect rolling, but of course the best versions will have all the really expensive, splashy stuff that just do ludicrous stuff. What's the time looking like? So I'm zooming into where I've left the scene things. It might not just be built for card games. That is the thing. I hear a lot of people are big fans of the Digimon card game, and that recently got on app to play it, so I might actually give that a try at some point. Gary, I'm absorbing his blows like I'm made of some sort of spongy material. Is that an actual SpongeBob quote? That sounds like it could be a SpongeBob quote, but it might just be a shitpost. You never tell these days. Thought so. But yeah, I'm mostly just gonna I enjoy sticking to Shadowverse. Even with the flaws of World Beyond the whatever. Fucking... what is kind of like made me kind of mad, but not like in a serious way, is it's the big leaf bully refusing punching the blob, probably. You know, with the bully guy. But yeah, the funny thing about the current state of Shadowverse is how many decks just have Jerry in them. For context, okay, this is a bit of a... Jerry refers to a legendary neutral follower in Shadowverse called Majerabane. Great Manifest. He is a 4 play point, 3/3, so a bit below stats. With fanfare, put a Great Testimony into your hand. Great Testimony is a 1 play point spell that destroys target enemy follower. So, he's on standards, he's a slightly crap follower that gives you a very good, powerful a very efficient removal spell. It's already alright. But when you evolve him, he replaces your deck with the Majerabane deck. The Majerabane deck is a single copy of every card in the Heirs of Omen set, which is the set he came out in, which is the latest set. He also does a little thing where he replaces the Reaper card at the bottom of your deck, which is how the game makes you lose if you draw cards when you don't have any cards in your deck, with a victory card. So when you draw cards without any cards in your deck, you win instead. And finally, on top of all this, he gives you a crest, which is a permanent ability, a permanent effect applied to you, that says, at the end of your turn, discard your entire hand, except for cards named Great Testimony, and draw 6 cards. So you can simply evolve Jerry if you have a bad matchup. If you're playing a deck and you know what classes that deck is bad against, you can simply go, well, instead of playing my deck, I will play the Jerry game. You can also do some ridiculous combos with it, but they're really inconsistent, so they're usually not worth building an entire deck around. What's generally seen in a lot of top level decks these days is just slotting him in as an extra card, not like even particularly synergy with the deck or anything. He's just because at base he's a useful neutral card that you can use in general cases. He's just a 5 play points for a body and removal, 5 total play points for a 3/3 body and targeted removal, which is okay. That's like acceptable. But he also, by having him in the deck, you have the option of like, okay, I know that the vast majority, that the matchup against my opponent's deck is god-awful. So I will play this Jerry's deck, which actually has an okay matchup. Like, it's still a bit of a gimmick, but you generally, in a lot of cases, especially playing against Runecraft decks, which have a lot of healing, or Cresthaven, it does actually work out as a better matchup than possibly playing your poor matchup, and can generally work pretty well. So it's like, because you have the Majority deck is like 77 cards. So it does take a while, it takes a fair few turns to get through, but you are drawing a fresh hand of 6 every turn, possibly more if you get some effects that draw you more cards. And that generally gives you gas to do something on your turns, like survive things. There already was a card that's like, here, have a brand new deck. That was Prince of Coctus, but he's a 10 play point. He's a big, expensive card, and he doesn't do anything, like, and he doesn't really interact with the board when he's played, so you have to, there's a very specific kinds of decks that can play Moss Jerobain. You can put in a lot of different decks. Like, some decks, what's fortunate is you don't really play him in stuff like Loot Sword or, name one Shadowverse card you would date. Wow, I can't name one of them. Wow. I'm not narrowing it down. It's a long list, exactly. Okay, fine. That's still too short. You're not going to get me to say it on stream because it's going to take too long. I need to... I can date as many as I like, ISV. They're in my deck. There's only so many DAOs in the day, true. Oh, but yeah, no, I'm not going to answer that question because I feel like every different second you ask me that question, it's going to be a different card. With coffee, the hours go up, though. I can't have coffee at this late at night, then I won't sleep. I need to sleep. I need to get to sleep at a normal time tonight because I need to fucking go to work tomorrow. I can't stay up too late. But yeah, it's just kind of like, I kept seeing... You only overuse my 25th hour a day to one of the fictional women. Smart. That's why it's called the witching hour, because of women. But yeah, it's just kind of like, it's annoying me because how well it works. How well just having him as a backup, having Jerry in your deck as a backup option works. And also, it's annoying how fun it is to play the Jerry deck. Like, you're just playing a weird fucking game where you're just trying to survive whilst drawing as many cards as possible. And it's like, it kind of reminds me of a card from Classic Shadowverse, which was a Forestcraft card, so it wasn't a neutral card, but it was a similar on the lines of replacing your deck with a weirder deck that you had to draw through. Someone Jerry did me and not. Yeah, it's probably a very confusing thing to deal with when you're new to the game. You just have this person who just goes, "Oh, I see you have over 70 cards in your deck now, and something happened to that weird card at the bottom. Okay. Oh shit, they just drew 6 cards. Oh shit, they're just playing all the stuff, and it's kind of weird." Because you can't... That's the thing, is like, it's hard to play against someone with the Jerry deck out, because they're deeply unpredictable. It's a single copy of every card in the set from all the classes, so they could really do anything on any given turn, or they could do fuck all. That's the majesty of it. Sometimes you, like, it's decent. You have just about equal odds of getting a hand of cards that was there were a hand of cards that might be incredibly powerful or completely useless. So yeah, it is, like, Jerobain was always, because he's a card that was from Classic Shadowverse. It was the Omen of 10. They're like all these things. And yeah, I played a Reno Jackson deck when I played Hearthstone, and that was very annoying. I played Reno Jackson Warlock. Which is basically wait until my opponent's out of cards and then heal. Like, it was basically last until my opponent's out of cards via Reno Jackson, and then and then hit Jiraxxus. Just become Jiraxxus. That was how I played Hearthstone when I played it for a bit. It was stupid. But yeah, like, Jeremy was always about a Highlander decks. In the old version of Shadowverse, he was like, if you played a deck, he was like, okay, if you play a deck with no cards in it, you get a permanent powerful effect. It never really quite worked out. Whilst here it's just like, you are playing a Highlander deck now. Doesn't matter what you were playing before, you're playing a Highlander deck now. There's another card that's on a similar vein. It's like Tablet of Tribulations, which is a 3 play point amulet that's just like, remove all duplicate copies of cards in your deck, and now you just have an amulet that you can use every turn to draw an extra card. And some decks use that as like a way to thin their deck down. If they only need like a specific card to win, it can make your deck almost more consistent because you can draw an extra card each turn, and you can thin out a bunch of other stuff that you might not need because you don't need the early game anymore. But it doesn't usually work out, and if someone fucking uses Odin to remove it, then you're just like, oh, I'm fucked. And so Jerry just like turns your deck into his own deck, and you're playing a different game. Sometimes also you can just get a combination of Jerry cards that does kill your opponent. There's like spicy storm cards and stuff in there as well with your opponents. So if you manage to make a good board, you can just get lucky enough to make a big board that your opponent can't deal with. And then you kill him. Hearthstone? Never. I am never touching Hearthstone again. God, fuck no. It's a stupid fucking game. Fair enough, have a good day, yeah. Yeah, no, I played it for a bit, was like, okay, and then literally the next set they introduced just made me want to stop playing the game. I think it was like, I played just before they made Reno a hero card? That makes sense. It was like, what am I saying? Yeah, it was the Old Gods set. And just getting fucking yogged all the time was just like, oh, fuck off. And they made a hero crazy. It looked like a cool set at the time, and then eventually just became, oh, it's just the Yogg game now. I know they nerfed Yogg eventually, but it's like, I wasn't willing to go back into the game at that point. And then everything I saw was just like, oh, poor Yogg, fuck that guy. It's a bullshit card. Like, it's kind of like it's kind of interesting how, like, we've got similar cases of look at my hands to remember where they are. Where, you've got two cards that are kind of just like, fuck it, we ball, but Jerry, maybe I'm just biased, but Jerry at Shadowverse feels a little fair, because at least you know the game plan from there on. It's not like completely random, it's just how they're getting there is very unpredictable. Whilst in fucking Yogg could do anything, so it's just like, eh. And also you have to commit to Jerry early, because if you play Jerry late, then you've just lost, because you're never going to hit that bottom before your opponent kills you. So you have to, if you're going to Jerry, you have to do it on your first or second Evo turn. 9 out of 10. Yeah, it's like, usually, I mean, it was like statistically what Yogg would do based on the spell pool would just be like, he'd wipe the board and draw you a bunch of cards and then maybe do some damage to you and your opponent. Like, that would be the likely outcome, is an empty board. You'd remove all your opponent's threats, you'd have an empty board, and you'd draw a bunch of cards. The amount of damage and healing was very variable. but it was still like, yeah, very. But sometimes he would outright win you the game. Sometimes he would outright lose you the game because he was randomly casting spells from every spell in the game. So it was fucked up. So it's like, you might as well play Yogg, because it might draw you your win con, or just keep you alive in other turns. It did make funny clips, though, but then they stopped being funny, because it was always the same. It's always like, funny Yogg-Saron clip, number 355. Yogg-Saron pyroblasts me in the face 3 times, and I die. That's a Yogg-Saron clip. We were all, admittedly, yeah, it was a long time ago. I was like barely even. Was I even 20 at the time? Because it would have been. It was. I remember playing it when I was in university, but I don't know how far into university, so it might have just been a couple of years in. Oh. Well, with that, I've made a 2-hour stream while standing up constantly, so I think that's a pretty good thing. So we've ended that on the card game rant of why I stopped playing Hearthstone. But I really think it's probably time to call it a day. So I'll be back tomorrow with Galarian Zash, where we will explore this fancy new place. We finally, after a whole stream, got out of the initial base area of flag hunting, find a whole new place to hunt flags in. Maybe we'll be actually solving puzzles rather than just flag hunting, because there'll be less people to talk to. Or maybe there will be people to talk to and I'm fucked. But yes, thank you all for coming. Thank you all for talking. I hope you all stick around, because I will need a bit of time to set up for a raid. But for now, so I don't know who I'm raiding yet, but I'll find somebody. But for now, I'm going to have a nice sit down and a drink of water and some tea. I think will do me good. Yeah, Unsighted on Thursday. That's a good that's a good game. So I look forward to it. I played a little bit of it, so it won't be. So I'll know what I'm doing for the first few bits of it. But hopefully by the end of the stream, I've only played like a few hours of it. Yeah, I can understand I have been somewhat mixed feelings about some of the things it does, but we'll kind of like talk about those on the day. But for now, as Ed's close to the drain, I'm gonna pop down now because I have to enter the fucking AFK pose. You don't we'll get to the gimmick and on the stream. Yeah, there is a rather interesting but also divisive gimmick about Unsighted, but I'll also make it very interesting. But anyway, I'll see you all tomorrow for Galarian Zash, Thursday for Unsighted, Saturday for the marathon stream, and Ice Female. Mwah! And Friday for well, I won't really be talking on that much on Jeeple's Tournament because it'll be mostly them doing the commentary. And thank you. Okay, ISV. Short second, a little bit. And I'll see you all on for Jeeple's Tournament on Thursday for people who want to watch that. It'll be I'm gonna try and remember to practice for that this week. There'll definitely be using practice on the marathon stream. So, bye.